Hello, welcome to AP Psychology. My name is John Seiple, and I'm going to be your son or daughter's psychology teacher for the 2021 school year. Over the next several minutes, I would like to introduce myself, introduce my philosophy, and introduce what are the expectations for your child. So let's go, and we'll start off with my educational background. I grew up in a little town about 2 hours west of here called Freeport, Illinois. After I graduated high school, I decided to go to a junior college for a couple of years, Rock Valley Junior College. After I graduated there with a degree in general studies, I transferred to Western Illinois University, where I was a double major in secondary education as well as psychology. I was also fortunate to have a sports scholarship to play baseball and football. After graduating from Western Illinois, I was hired at Lyons Township. And after a couple of years at Lyons Township, I decided to go back get a master's degree at Benedictine University in Lisle, Illinois. And then ultimately, over the next several years, I accumulated hours above and beyond a master's, which is equivalent to a doctorate minus the dissertation from St. Xavier's University. My background in education, I've taught my entire career at LT. This is my 30th year. I've also guest lectured at St. Xavier's University in the Connecting Link program, which is an online teaching program. My interests. I am a family first person. My two kids, my daughter Kate is 12 years old. She's a seventh grader at Gurry, and my son is a fifth grader. He is 10 years old. And I love my job. However, it's nice to be home and be with them and to help them out there doing remote learning. Possibly all year until we can get a handle on the coronavirus. In my spare time, I do like to read. I like to read things by Malcolm Gladwell. Anything psychology related by him, talks about human behavior, is awesome. It's really, really enlightening. And then the go-tos just to spend a little time relaxing is Mitch Albom. And I've got several of his books. Hobbies in the meantime, if I ever get a chance, I do like to go golfing, as well as tinkering around the house and playing in the yard, just trying to keep the garden going. My teaching philosophy. Like I said, I'm a former athlete. I was fortunate enough to have a scholarship to play baseball and football. So I was fortunate to have my schooling paid for, and I know it was tough. It was tough for my parents, but we were able to accomplish it. And a lot of my most inspirational people were teachers as well as coaches. And one thing I realized when I was coaching was that I love the consistency. I love the routine of a daily plan. My lesson plans are very, very predictable. I like to do similar things each day. So every student, I think, has the ability to be successful in the classroom. There's a theory by Howard Gardner about multiple intelligences. And I think everybody's got the ability. It's, do we work hard enough to pay it off? Because if you work hard in this class, I promise you, your son or daughter is going to be successful. Okay? And then my last teaching philosophy is there's a need for open line of communication between the teacher, the student, and the parents. If the students ever have anything they want to contact me about, they can always get me by my email. And I've already, in the first 2 weeks of school, had 6, 7, maybe even 8 individual Zoom meetings with students, talking about how to study, what to look for in the reading, what to expect in the class. So I think one of the big things is an open line of communication, and that's as well with parents as also. If you guys ever have a question, please feel free to email me. And once you email me, if we need to set up a Zoom meeting, we can always set up a Zoom conference and accomplish something either over email or looking at each other. My course goals. A lot of teachers might throw course goals out that are related to education. I think the educational part is going to come if these course goals are successful. The educational outcomes are going to be there. So I've got 4 of them here. The first one, I want your child to leave the class wanting to learn more about psychology. I know it's a year-long course. We're going to teach all about the psychology book, and if you see in the lower right-hand corner, you can see our new textbook. We just got it a couple weeks before the school year started. They're going to go through that entire textbook. As they go through that entire textbook, I hope that they become curious and want to learn more, because that's a job that, as a teacher, that I think makes teaching successful and accomplishing. I've done my job if students desire to take another course. If they go to college and they take another psychology course, maybe not major in psychology, but take other psychology courses, I think I've done a good job, because I've enticed them to want to search out more information. Okay. The third one, when your students walk out of school, I want them to be thinking about what we've talked about and be able to apply it in society at that time, as well as possibly even analyzing why people do what we do, because that is the basis of psychology. Why do people do what we do? Okay. And then last but not least, with AP classes, I know I've been doing this long enough that your students are going to be well prepared for the AP exam in the spring. But I want to get them there. And it's going to take a while, but fortunately we've got 9 months to do this, and we will be successful, I promise you. Now, I think an important thing with parents and students is to try to understand grading practices. In AP Psychology, our focus is going to be on 3 different skills. We're going to be focusing on research design, applying what we learn in psychology to the world around us, and then being able to analyze why people do what we do. All 3 of these skills are emphasized by the College Board on the AP test. And so our test that we're going to give in our class is going to be designed around searching through these 3 different skills in every unit. We're going to have several exams over the school year. We're going to have 5 exams, which are going to include multiple choice tests, as well as free response questions. We'll have 5 exams and a final in the fall, as well as 4 exams and a final in the spring. This class works on a different grading scale. We're going to work, and you'll see it on the next slide, an A through F scale. We're not going to use percentages this school year. The formatives, practices that we give to the kids, I've been giving the kids FRQs every day. FRQs are simply free response questions, essay questions back when we were in high school. I'm giving them every day, and they're looking at them, they're turning them in. I'm giving them little quizzes after each reading so that they get used to these multiple choice questions and these free response prompts that they're going to be writing on throughout the school year, and especially on the AP test. Okay? Our summatives, the tests, are 100% of the grade. Like I said, the grading scale, we're not going to use numbers or percentages. We are designating with grades. It's an A through F scale, And if you want more information, you can look at the syllabus that I believe the school has online, and um, our grading scale will be there. Okay? And last but not least, with grading practices, if a student ever wants to improve their grade, they can always reassess. When it comes to multiple choice questions, they can take another multiple choice test. They can rewrite a different free response question. But in order to do that, they're going to have to do some extra homework, some extra assignments, just to see that they are understanding what they missed on the first test. So how will the class look this year? Like I mentioned earlier, I love routine. I can, and the students can expect the lessons to be similar with terminology, articles, some PowerPoints. They're going to have a lot of class discussion, a lot of work in breakout rooms until we get back into the classroom. The Zoom meetings do have breakout rooms, which is really, really nice. So if they want to go right on their own, we can break them out into a room like that individually. And if we also want to, we can break them out into groups and then have real in-depth discussions on the topics that we're talking about. A new thing this year are Canvas board discussions. I'm going to put up questions throughout the week and have the kids share their ideas, their viewpoints, and look at everybody else's ideas and viewpoints, because what I emphasize to the students is the best way for you to become more intelligent about things that you are really passionate about is to try to understand how other people see the same thing. And in turn, if you can see how they view it and can wrap it around what your ideas are, you're going to be more intelligent on that subject. And so that's why I hope these discussion boards are going to allow those students to do, is to share their ideas and share their viewpoints with other people in the classroom. As I start to finish up here, some student expectations, and especially using Canvas. Our work's going to be done during a class period. These class periods are 75 minutes, but I'm surprised how quick they are going, because when you break them up and you talk and discuss and things like that, it's amazing how quick the time really does go. So out of class assignments are going to be essential with this, because even though we've got the 2 block schedules on Wednesday and Friday for AP, and then the 38 minutes on Monday, it's just not enough time to get everything we need to done. So the students need to be working outside of the classroom, okay? And it is an expectation in an AP class that should be done. Another thing is, and this can be tough at times, because I remember in high school, I didn't want to embarrass myself by talking and saying the wrong things. And so I'm trying to get the kids comfortable enough. They need to participate in the class discussions. It's tough in a Zoom setting because everybody is muted and you don't know if you should talk or if you should not talk. Hopefully, as we move along through this process, it's going to get a little bit easier for the students, as well as myself, because dead time in a classroom is not a fun thing to have. But in a Zoom meeting, unfortunately, it's the reality more than the option. And last but not least, you've got Zoom etiquette. And the students know all of these things. Really, it's the last bullet that I want to share with you. The kids understand the first 3. The video on has been a huge challenge. Kids say, well, my video is broken and this and that. And I need to see the students in class. And so if they can get their cameras fixed, that would be a great benefit. But the last button, which is the last bullet that I want to share, is a request to you as parents. If you can have your students' schedule somewhere in the house, so that everybody in the house knows when the students are Zooming, when they're in class, they can have as few distractions as possible, because the 75 minutes are important, is an important time to be with each other. And so if we can limit the distractions there, and I understand we have to go to the washroom, we have to get a drink, and there are some exceptions. But if we can do that, I think we're going to be really good throughout the school year. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions, any concerns. We're all in this together. As you saw my kids earlier, they're doing remote learning from home. It's a challenge for them. It's a challenge for us as teachers. I know it's a challenge for you as parents, and it's a challenge for your students. I think they really would like to be in school rather than be doing remote learning. Unfortunately, with the way the pandemic has been, it's just not the case right now. So if you ever have a question, concern, please feel free to reach out. Give me an email at jseiple@lths.net, and we can always communicate back and forth that way, or we could also have a Zoom session. So thank you for your time. I apologize. I probably went over the 10 minutes because I do like to talk. So I apologize, and good evening, and take care.